Hey, hey, hey! This is the GloLady. How are you today?
Cosmic Kim, hello. Hi there, Cosmic. I said hi to myself.
Yeah, I said hi to myself too.
Oh, we need help.
Oh, yeah, well, that's why we're here. We are going to talk about help and spiritual advisors and what to look for when you are looking for a spiritual advisor. The importance of a spiritual advisor. What is a spiritual advisor?
Exactly. We're going to help you with that. Because there's so many out there
That's
that
it.
you don't want to get in the wrong hands. Same thing with astrologers. There's a lot of negative astrologers. Not in Asheville, though. Not at all. I've met only great, optimistic ones.
I've met so many people since I have been here who have of like mind, and that's what's really great about it. Of course, if you've been with us for a while, you know that we kind of do things on a wing and a prayer, and we're not about to change things now, so get used to it. In other words, it just comes, it just flows. There's no fake because we don't have time to think about what we're going to say. It just comes out. And today's show, like I said, is going to be on spiritual guidance and what to look for. And I'm going to have a client call in about 15 minutes, and she's going to talk a little bit about our experience together, her and I. And then Kim also has her chart. So we're going to be explaining, we're going to do like a case study. And I guess until then, we could.
Right. I just printed them. I didn't even look at them, so it's just going to go, woo, what do we see? That's always how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of the 3 family members, right? Mm-hmm. Just to see what their connections are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's really going to be interesting. They can't hear what's going on now because she's going to be calling from Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But when I had met her and had counseled her and she had called back to ask more, there's a definite pattern of, and that's a big part of life, that if you're not going to break that cycle, that you're going to, repeat it. And that happens a whole lot. Isn't that cool?
Oh, your pictures in the background?
Yeah, it's interesting how they're all.
They look so good. They're going to skip right over us and look behind us.
Well,
I don't know about that.
Well, we're entertaining for all people. If they don't want to look at us, they
where
can
am
look
I
at the
now? I'm in the
pictures.
water. Oh, I think what's on my head? A halo?
Yeah, that
Do I have
was
a halo?
Yeah, that was. What do they call those?
No, it
here.
looked like an orb.
You're
blocking
blocking my butt.
Okay, your butt.
Yeah, well-behaved women rarely make history.
Oh, I have that sign. That was one of my favorite. I even have a T-shirt that says that.
Yeah, and it's true.
Yep. I guess we're not well-behaved. Well, the one thing that I was thinking about, besides, how you were saying karma and families, it's amazing when you do astrology how many families have the same aspects, the same challenges in each chart, and you are supposed to play it out differently. Because then you're brought in with this pattern, and you're supposed to take the high way, not the low way. But it's funny, every time I do charts, even rising signs, personalities, so many of them are the same.
Cool.
Isn't that funny?
Well, one of these days we'll have to get together so we can go over things like that. And I want to know, too, in my life.
Well, we are even with these ladies that call in to see what's it all about.
That's it. And if you guys would like to call in, we're also going to be giving you a number that you are going to be allowed to call. And if you have questions, whatever kind of questions that you have, you can call in and say, hey, this is the question that I have today, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. So a little bit later on in the show, I'll give you a number to call in. We're going to wait until Sylvia calls before.
Right. Good.
We don't want to tie up the line.
I know we even have a visitor today, a new psychic, medium, intuitive to the area. Just met him the other night. He's going to come visit us shortly.
That's it. I know.
You'll get to meet him. Maybe he'll show us some of his gifts.
I know.
And you, right? That's more of what you do too, isn't it?
Some of. We'll talk a little bit about what he does and what I do. And I use the tarot deck when I was working down in Casadega. Tarot, whatever you want to call them, a divinatory tool. And if you ask me if I could teach what it is, I would probably have to say I could teach the basic symbolism of it. but I really couldn't teach exactly, an in-depth of it because I just, I
Right.
just talk to God.
Well, it's the same thing with charts. I
Right.
mean, you can read it, and sometimes I'll say something, or someone will say something, and go, "Where'd you get that in the chart?" And it is your intuition, psychic abilities also that come up.
Right.
So it's like the tarot. A lot of people do them, but everybody sees them differently.
That's it. That's it.
And usually, it's the message you need to hear at the time. Right?
Yeah, and it's learning to listen. A lot of us really don't listen to what we're told.
That's
It's
for
like
sure.
that intuition, the gut. That still small voice in your gut. Your gut is your God unto thee, and a lot of people don't listen to that still small voice.
Did you ever hear that thing, using your arm if you ask a question? And if you go to push it down, if you really don't like your answer, your hand won't go down, but when you're comfortable and you are right about the answer, it just flops?
No, I didn't do that.
No, that's another way to know that you're lying to yourself.
Oh, really? How do you do that? Put your hand out?
You can even use your pinky, I think. I don't know how the pinky one works, but
Yeah.
like you put your arm out, and we're going to do this?
Oh, you would do it to me?
Either way.
You couldn't do it to
so
yourself?
you have to ask
It has to be
yourself a
two people.
question, right?
Right.
Like, do I love my job? Oops, okay.
Now
not
wait
that.
a minute. Let's be serious. I mean, I love this job. Okay, I seriously, we're not talking about this job.
All right, we'll ask my question. Do I miss my ex-husband? Okay, let's not go there either.
Ask a question that you don't know the answer to.
Well, we all really know the answer, but we convince ourselves that we're happy.
Because
so
we-
when you
we
do this
wanna-
little
we want to
test,
hear what we want to hear.
well, how it works is you hold your arm out and you get somebody like me, and I'll ask you the question, and I'll press down on it. And if you are lying to yourself,
Or lying to you, you'll find out.
well, it's really yourself that you're lying to. Like, oh, I love my job. I love my job. Did you ever hear this? Anybody out there? Well, you can tell us.
Did you guys hear it? Yeah.
I've seen it a few times in a few different, conferences about lying to ourselves. And anyhow, so your hand would just
That
automatically,
denial.
will flop. I mean, and the tiniest, littlest person can have an Amazon like myself come over, and really, they hold strong. And then they fall apart. When
And that's a big part of the denial,
right,
in
it's so
it.
strong.
Yeah, because and something I have found in being an advisor, because I've always had this ability. I just never really know how different I was, or what I could really do with it. And one thing that I have found, that when I give my information away, it has no value.
Oh,
When
that's true.
when I charge, then people take it serious, because now I have placed a value upon it. When I had first started, I really didn't want to take any money. I like the barter system
Right.
better, and ask and you shall receive. And yeah, I got that car, and I got a printer, for $5. It was brand new at a thrift store, and I don't know why I keep getting off on subjects, but that's just how my brain works.
Let me
Reality.
guess, Mercury in Pisces? Do you have that? Or Mercury is the way she communicates in Pisces. Let me wheel you in. Woo! But very, very creative, very intuitive,
Yeah.
psychic, but also no boundaries. So that's why you have all these things
I
going on.
just yeah, that explains it.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what's really cool, to get it explained like that. Now I know why I am like that. It's not just because I'm a blonde,
Right. No.
And do you know why blondes have more fun? We let it go in one ear and out the other. What can I
I
say?
have little ears. Poor Bill, he's gonna change his mind and walk out. Are you, Bill? He's like, what have I got myself
Yeah,
into?
it's like, okay, well, why don't we bring him on now, because she's not going to call for another 10 more minutes, and we're going to introduce you to Bill Bauer, and he is from Florida. This is going to be the first time that I have met him. And
I
he
picked him off
is
the street.
Kim.
I'm not
We're gonna
blonde.
blame it.
He's not blonde. He still has more fun. He's going to have his own show eventually, or maybe he'll be with us often. We'll see.
That's
right?
it. So it's like, tell us about you. Tell
about me,
us
huh?
about you.
Yeah, originally from Sarasota, Florida. I was there 9 years before I moved here. And what I loved about Asheville is that Asheville is what Sarasota used to be in its independent shops and its creativity and its art. I had an art gallery and studio, and I also had a radio show. I had a radio show where people called in for intuitive readings. I agreed with a lot of what the both of you said about the work, being intuitive, and putting a word on it, psychic, medium.
Right, it's hard to, right?
It
Yeah.
diminishes what
Right.
we do.
Yeah.
You know, for instance, a nurse is more than a nurse.
Right.
And, you know, a policeman is more than a policeman. A mother is much more than just a mother. So
Mm-hmm.
it is experiential. You have to experience. And you're right also about how do you find the right kind of person to go to. I mean, I just went to a new doctor today. I mean, I had to have that first consultation to see if we click. So there's some trial and error, but a good thing too is I use the illustration, I've been kissed before, so you have life experience.
Right.
And that's, so what I did in Florida was a lot of murals for restaurants, a lot of fine art paintings, both trompe-l'oeil, realistic, and abstract. We had an art stroll, and it was really great, once a month. And with that, I was able to do classes at private readings, a lot of mediumship when I first opened up in the year 2000. Before that, I'd been a fundamentalist minister for 26 years, Bible and Bible only.
You were?
Totally. And then
Wow.
26 years, got totally disillusioned with that, has separation and not a pretty separation between the organization I was all doing, and then really mad at God. So I thought, let's get back into my art. And but not having those questions answered. When you experience spiritual abuse in the hands of spiritual
like that.
leaders or
Right.
doctrine or dogma, where
Right.
do you go? The opposite extreme.
Right.
Well, I didn't even do that. I just thought, let's get back into my art. I'll never have answers. But that alone felt like a defeat.
But do you still feel that way?
No,
about it?
because
Right.
when I really felt as if my aura had gone gray, like let me transition.
We all have to go through that dark night
Yeah.
of the soul, because I feel
Right.
that going through it is like
Right.
that
Right.
caterpillar.
Right.
You know, you have to come out of that cocoon
Right.
in order to become.
That's right. A world of duality. Right? And so that day when I felt that way, I met my mentor. And my mentor, who is very accomplished in what she does, her and her husband were realtors. They look like regular people. I don't do woo-woo even now. You know, I just don't like the stigma of when you say metaphysics.
Right.
Tarot, psychic, and yet we do those things. Well, she said, you're very intuitive. And I thought, oh, okay, fine. And she said, did your mother die young? I said, yeah, my mother died at 23 when I was 4. And she says, well, she's all around you. I'm like, oh, brother, you know, please, you know.
Yeah, right.
And yet she answered and said questions that blew me away. For instance, my mother died at 23 back in 1958. And I said, okay, what was the color of the dress my mother was buried in? And in the Albanian Orthodox Church, it was always a shroud. But she was a nightclub singer. So she said, your mother showed me a strapless, shiny yellow. I'm like, my heart's like, how is she
That's
doing
always
this?
how people finally
Yeah.
get it. Isn't
So
it?
in my head, I'm praying to my God of choice and God of culturation. And she even said some of the terms that only someone in that faith could use. So I knew there had to be more to it. And having fallen away from it and having a discord, I thought the door was open to now be free to try anything spiritual, Buddhism, this, Tarot. And if I had stayed in the religion of those years, raising my children in that, it would have been like staying in the 12th grade. You love the teachers, you love the textbooks, but you never go on to get your own PhD beyond that.
Right.
And so that stigma of demonism or against Christian principles
Right.
melted away. And so within 6 months, reading in a metaphysical shop really seemed to be my specific forte was mediumship. You mentioned someone's name, boom, in detail that even blew me away. And I have never had any demonic attack. I've never had any emotional problems with it. The only thing is in this work is because it is intense, like in cases like during 911, you emotionally do go through a lot, but so does a psychologist.
Right.
Right.
What I love about what's happening for me now here in Asheville is I've created the same thing. I have an art studio downtown.
Whereabouts?
It's on Carolina Lane. It's the alley behind Namaste Yoga on Broadway.
Oh, see, I still don't know it good enough. It's
Me
like,
either, but
yeah,
that's okay.
yeah,
Tell the
it's-
crowd. 'Cause
Yeah,
they'll know.
tell them.
Tell
It's
them
called-
because we'll find it. We'll follow you
well,
there.
I'm going to have events there. There's a big event there Sunday. It's called Light
This Sunday?
Source Studio. And Kaleo Wheeler, who is a singer here, is launching off her CD and birthday party.
Oh, cool.
The studio space is multi-purpose. I have a man doing top-down yoga. It is actually available for others to come and use. My birthday is Valentine's Day.
I know.
So we're going to dance.
Oh.
And here's the thing.
How do I know? I just met him. I just knew. No.
I had said to a couple
He
of
looks like a
friends-
sweetheart.
Yeah, thanks. Chocolate. But I had said to a couple of friends I wanted to manifest. That's another thing I teach, manifesting circles.
Manifesting.
That I wanted a huge loft A lot of windows, some brick, tall, on the second floor, but street access. Well, that's exactly what I got 2 days later, and it was available. I moved in August 1st.
And that's, we were talking about, because she likes to joke.
She likes to have love donations.
My love offerings.
In the form
Because
of liquid?
Wait a minute, there's a $1 bill in there.
No
Look,
drinking here. We don't need to drink to be
Well, I mean-
crazy.
Well,
Except the
no,
water
yeah, no, I'm a recovered alcoholic. No, I like it free and clear. Oh, guess what? I think that is. Yes, it is indeed. Hello. Could this be Sylvia?
Yes, hi Lisa, it's Sylvia.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
We're doing good. Let me find out if they can hear you.
cards
Can
too.
you hear Sylvia? Good. All right, Sylvia. Would you mind telling the audience how we met and all that kind of good stuff?
Yes, thank you. In October, I moved from Chicago to Florida. I moved there for family. I have a brother and sister and family there. And my brother and sister-in-law took me to Casadega. That's where I met Lisa in Florida. And she gave me a reading. And in Florida, she simply asked me, what are you doing here? And I said, well, I moved here for my family. I mean, I quit my job in Chicago for 10 and a half years. I gave everything up. I moved there with my daughter and her fiance. And she said, actually, the first chance you get, you need to leave Florida. You need to leave. And if you don't take that first chance, you'll never have another chance. Well, I did have a chance. I was there in Florida for 6 months, but after 2 months, I was so unhappy. Couldn't find a job, or it was really getting rough financially there. So I came back to Chicago, a suburb of Chicago, and when I got settled, I called Lisa again, and I said, Lisa, it's Sylvia. Remember when I came to Florida and you told me this, and you even told me about my ex-husband passed away, and how I couldn't move on with my life because I still had him in my heart. And she said, yes, I remember. I said, well, I want you to know, also I want to tell you, Lisa told me my daughter was going to become pregnant. And so when I came back to Chicago, my daughter and her fiance moved back also with me. We rented this house. And that's when I called Lisa. And Lisa told me that something very traumatic is going to happen in my daughter's delivery. And people are going to be running around. They're going to be yelling. But just say prayers, because it's going to be out of your control, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be very traumatic. Well, when my daughter had the baby, I almost lost my daughter, and actually when the baby was born, the baby was really dead, and people were running around the room. I mean, I was standing there because I was looking at the delivery mat, and I was totally shocked, and my daughter was yelling for her name, Michaela, Mommy loves you, and they're working on the baby, but everybody was yelling and running around crazy, and I stood there praying. I wear my medals and that, and praying to the Lord above, and I touched my daughter's hand, and I said, Cynthia, this is just like Lisa told us, you believe in God, you have to pray, it's out of our control. And then she just was, she said, oh God, help us. She was yelling for her baby's daughter, name, Michaela. She kept saying Michaela. And I've never seen I've never seen anything like this in my life. My granddaughter being born in that, and then she was like dead. They brought her alive. She was breathing, and it was like, and I just kept praying, and Lisa was in my head then. Lisa and God was there, and she really pulled me through this. And that's all I can say, and I'm very grateful for Lisa.
Well, thank you, but it's not all about me, and today it's about you. And Kim is going to tell you about your charts. So if you want to hang on a minute, Kim's going to explain some things to you. You ready?
Thank you.
You know, it's fascinating. While you were speaking, we have another visitor here with us. His name is Bill, and he was holding up a tarot card each time. Is that what you call him? Each time you were telling your story, and the card was exactly the situation that you were describing at the moment.
Wow.
It was so. He's just holding him in his hands.
Yeah,
he just popped in today. Didn't know you for anything.
He's asking for information regarding you. This is how I did it with my radio show. And the first thing came up, a very benevolent, wise man who's now in spirit. It's the first thing I got. Second thing was about your sensitivity and your intuition, that when you're up, you're really, really good with your intuition, but when you're down, you can't cope. And then I saw a sadness that was going on regarding family and illness. I also saw that when you moved out of Florida into Chicago, the victory card showed up. Like, boy, that was the greatest thing you could have done for yourself. And even right now, we have your daughter, her health, her emotions right now. The daughter card in reverse shows me that she's still not over biochemically with the problems that are going on for her. It seems as if during the problem during the pregnancy, that those around her were incompetent, that they were not doing what they should have been doing. And so she lost her confidence in that as well. For you and for your daughter, the moon card comes up, and that's the card of the mystic and the card of your dreams. It's very, very important to process during dream state for yourself at this time. I could go on. But
I know. No, I'm loving that. No, that's great.
And I was getting a lot more, but some of it's private, should not be brought up, I don't think.
There you go.
You know, but okay, let's just give you one last.
Some of it, he was talking about some things that are private, shouldn't be put out over the put out to the world.
Right.
Because even though this is taped live at URTV in Asheville, North Carolina, it is uploaded to the internet. So if you're not seeing this on November the 30th, 2007, that means that you're not seeing it live.
I can give her one guarantee. I don't know, Sylvia, if you've had contact with your partner who's passed, but he is more than willing and ready to talk. He's quite... some people, when they pass, are not available to those who are still on this side. And you got to keep in mind, with my Christian upbringing, I didn't believe in any of this.
Right.
But when I've been involved in 4 forensic cases and missing people, and information came through, even today on the phone in Sarasota, a situation of a man that passed. For Sylvia, your husband is more than available to be spoken with information, and he really has graduated in this case. You now have a friend in high places. I've got a friend in high places. He more than willing wants to help you emotionally in your spiritual endeavor, and your daughter as well. Do you have a son?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
Okay, yeah.
I have a son.
He really wants you to be even better or more of a parental figure angelically than before. And I think that your son is about to get very healthy internally, emotionally, because I don't know if there's marriage problems or partner problems or things going on. But here's the deal for all of us. You talk to a lot of people. They'll tell you that this year was the year they got their back to the wall with incredible amount of stress, multiple things to deal with. All stress and trauma is made to get your back into the wall, like AA, to open up the ego, crack it open, get humble, and ask for that higher power. So Catholics will be better Catholics. Metaphysicians will be better metaphysicians. Atheists will be better, but they'll be more humanitarian. And that's what trauma is supposed to do, to get you to get beyond I think, and open up the heart. That's going to happen to your son, and your father, and your husband is going to help him with that.
And what? I didn't hear you say that again.
Your husband is going to help his son open up the heart. He will be there to guide and direct him to the right resources as he opens up more and more. He's turning to a new leaf for your son, no later than March.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And at that case, I just said March, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we
Yes,
had Kim
March.
come on in and check his chart, she would probably
always.
say, boom, yes, that's exactly but that's what I'm getting.
Well,
from
if
your
I had
husband.
done his chart, I don't have his with me, but you know
No.
what's interesting is all 3 of you, your daughter, your granddaughter, and yourself, wherever Saturn is in our charts is where we have our... I'm talking to the phone. Hello, there's the TV. I'm new at this. Isn't that funny? I'm like, okay, there, hi.
We are talking to the phone.
Hello,
This
phone.
is a Samsung model.
It's actually that little green guy on the Flintstones on our table here. What was his name? Whatever. Anyhow, what's fascinating is the 3 of you all have Saturn is where our lessons are, and whatever we come in with, wherever Saturn is what we're here to learn. It's our karma. All 3 of you, and it changes signs every 30 years, 29, 30. You all 3 have it in Leo. So he's talking all about the heart. It's fascinating, and your ego, and it is about shining, being a leader, and really struggling to have an identity, each of you. You, your daughter, and your granddaughter. That's where your lessons are, and all 3 of you came in with the same lesson. Isn't that fascinating?
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Yes.
I just saw that. That was the one thing I picked up quickly, and you were talking about, the heart, and, Leo likes to be a leader, and I would imagine all of you have a hard time, sort of a self-esteem thing about that. Really shining, standing out in a crowd, it's kind of... who you are. Do you find that, or with your
Right.
daughter?
Yeah, you're correct on that. On all three of us, my son, my daughter, and I. Yes.
But that's what you're here to get over. So, I mean, I don't have your son, so, he's different, but your granddaughter, Michaela, is that her name?
Yes, Michaela.
And it's interesting, too, she is, and another way to help this is she's a Leo rising. So the big thing for her is to always feel appreciated, be on center stage, to shine, be a leader, be dramatic. That's Leo. That's what Leos love. And that's her rising sign. Do you know anything about rising signs, what it means?
No, I do not.
Well, that means this is what her personality, this is what she's going to show the world. This is what, the mask she's going to wear. Even though she was born, she's born a Virgo, right? Yes.
August 28th, she was born.
Right. So she'll be of service, but you'll notice that she really needs to feel appreciated. I mean, that's going to be huge for her, being a Leo.
Oh, wow.
I mean, Leo rising, that's her sun sign. I mean, her rising sign. But another thing that I found, this thing called the vertex. I was just trying to combine the three of you. If you want to look at you individually, but the vertex is a destiny point, and you three of you have, the vertex with your daughter lined up together, like her Venus and your Saturn. It just always is. I mean, I could probably go on and find 20 things that connect all of you. Mm-hmm. And even when children are adopted, it's amazing how well they connect with the new adoptive parents. It's meant to be. I mean, we choose the exact moment that we want to pop in, and the aspects in the sky are for our lessons or the path that we're going to lead. And I have a cross next to me, like when I look at the screen, right? It's like I didn't want the cross coming out of my head.
That's another
Sylvia,
form of
when
divination.
you see the show, when this gets uploaded to the internet, you'll see what she was talking about. I have photos that go up behind.
Right.
So she just had a cross coming out of her head.
Yeah, I'm looking at the TV instead of the phone at the table. Most of my talk will be headed down. I'm could you be there? So, do you have any questions about anything I can look at in particular, or?
For myself, first I want to say, so you see my son, my daughter, all three of us are always going to be connected together.
Well,
In the future?
no, I don't have your sons with me. This was with Bill was talking to you. He's a, what do you want me to call you?
A nice guy.
We just found him off the side of the street, and he just happened to know all this stuff. Like, all of a sudden, he had this vibe.
Yeah, I'm an intuitive. I hate the word psychic, but it is. It's psychic, intuitive, intuition. What you said was very important. We are born with intuition. We have 5 glands in our physical body, including you, Sylvia, that can tap in. You're very, very intuitive. But when you're down or upset, you can't cope with that, and so it's hard to read your judgment on that. Just like here we have this cell phone. Who'd have thought 20, 30 years ago? I remember being a kid going down to the local soda shop to put the quarter in to talk to Grandma.
Oh, right. Mm-hmm.
What this phone does mechanically, it mimics what we do naturally. Mm-hmm. And so regarding the information I got, I just felt the presence of your son through your husband. He was filling me in my clairomniscience. The justice card shows me that if there's any contractual things to deal with that you have to deal with, it'll be in your favor. If you have any legalities, selling of houses, if there's any monies owed, that will be done as well. And I want to get for your son that he may be up for more work and expansion, but I pulled one of my cards. This is 78 cards that have been quoted that were downloaded from The Matrix to me 3 years ago on my birthday, and I'm going to make these my own cards. And I picked a card for your son, and it talks about if the money, he may be getting more money on a job or want more money, but the question posed is the money will be good, but do you really want the added stress? Clarify for yourself what is essential and what you can do without. Less is more right now in this time of unfolding. You just asked a question about whether or not you're always going to be together.
Yes, my daughter, my son, and I always be connected together.
Why wouldn't you be? Unless you choose by being mad or angry to separate. Why wouldn't you be?
What I meant by that is because we were talking about getting a house together, the three of us, because he's a single parent and so is my daughter.
That's another private reading, and I'll tell you why. And he should work with you on this.
Mm-hmm.
You want to know if it's your highest good for all of you to be together, because we're meant to separate. Unless you're a Siamese twin.
Not for anything, but that to me is...
Well, I mean, okay, for instance, the card that comes up here is the professional master craftsman in reverse. So sometimes in a person's self-esteem, we huddle together because we can't do it ourselves. Yes, you will always be connected to your children and they to you. But even if they lived in a house next door or down the block, they exist existentially. They are alone. They are their own people. You really do need to go away from family influence to make proper decisions, to feel really confident in yourself. And that could be a problem for him emotionally if in fact he does that.
And you're very strong. I mean, just seeing your chart alone, Mars, Pluto, conjunct Saturn and Leo, very fixed in a way. Do you find that? And
Yes.
And that's not always so easy to live with. And if you want everybody to stay together, I would not live under the same roof. Just knowing what it's done to a lot of people that I know, as close as they are, even good friends. When you go on vacation with them for a week, don't you find?
Well, the thing is I'm supposed to be getting the settlement soon, and then we were going to do this like in a 2-flat where my son and my grandson lives downstairs, and my daughter and my new granddaughter. 3 months old,
Right.
and myself.
Oh.
So when I pass on, that my children would have something, but meanwhile, the 3 of us, we would help each other financially. You know what I'm saying?
If it's
Right.
He would want his own apartment downstairs, like a 2-flat.
Right.
Just know that if it's if it's for financial reasons, but understand the challenges of all together energetically being in the same dwelling. That's all I'm saying.
And
Right, I understand.
The Justice card came up and showed me that, talk about the selling of the place. She mentioned something about a financial thing going on.
Right.
There's when you were
well,
talking
that's
about
really
the
in her
lawsuit.
favor.
Right.
That
Right.
court thing going on, the Justice card in the upright says, because you, Sylvia, dear daughter, have been honest with others, you will be treated fairly as well. There's no karma in that. It will be a good sale. The contracts and the decisions will be in your favor. I swear by that. I stand by it.
Well,
Wow.
there you go, Sylvia. He's second it.
Yes.
And look what just came up. The 3 of rods reversed, meaning that you and your children, the 3 of you, are in alignment together, but go slow, take time, and recognize that I like the wands like this because they're not enmeshed, they're all growing
Right.
together.
Separate.
If you can give each other a space, which is what I
Right.
was thinking, if you
Right.
really all know how to have boundaries with each other and not step on toes,
Yeah,
it can
not under
work.
one roof.
And I would
yeah.
definitely have
Right.
locked doors that you can close behind
Yeah.
you. I would.
Well, we all
for
need our own
anybody.
space. I mean, that's important for all of us.
Especially once your kids have left and come back. Even my son in college, he comes for the weekend now, and it's not like it used to be. Because he's used to doing his own thing, and it's
Yeah.
interesting. I'm ready for him to leave after 4 days.
Yeah, I had my he's 28 now, but he had lived with me for 2 years, and that was cool. I'm sorry, because
No,
when
it
you're
could
talking
be
about
really
that, it's like,
cool if you can all, just like you said, individuate and be able to do that.
The issue,
It was just a thought that we were talking about it. Nothing really planned about it. Just to help each other financially because they are single parents.
Right.
Oh, and is that your next question?
Okay. I have one more question that my daughter is sitting over here because she would like to ask a question.
Okay.
Do you see me meeting a mate
Who?
in the future?
Cynthia?
Sylvia.
Oh, you. I thought your daughter had a question.
No, she does
no,
later.
I think-
But that's what I was saying, and her next question is, I knew what her next question was.
Thank you, Lisa. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Well, you were unsure about your birth time, right? A little bit? You said between...
Yeah, my mother said between 12 and 1:30
Right. I mean, I still
in
see...
the morning.
I still see you as a Leo rising because it usually it runs in families, and your granddaughter has that also. And Leo rising is about, are you creative, colorful, like to have fun, like to play, even though you like to control it because you have that Mars with your Pluto. Are you? How are you?
That's about. I'm not a controller. I'm pretty easy to go, but I like peacefulness.
Okay. What?
I like peacefulness. I don't like chaos.
Well, you are a Libra. Libra sun sign is a peace at any price. And if you are a Leo rising, you're ruled by that sun in Libra. That's the ruler of your chart. So it would be there. But your energy, you definitely can get very focused and demanding when you're ready to do something. Are you?
Yes, that's true. When I want to get something done, I want to get it done now. Or and if I can't get it done, I'll do it myself.
Well, anyhow, the point of all the eclipses the next year and two are going to be in Leo and Aquarius. So a lot of action is happening. And it's been really tough for the last 2.5 years for anybody in a fixed sign because Saturn's been in Leo and there's been a T-cross and there were all these things, Mars, and there was so much going on for the fixed signs. It was really hard to move. And now it's completely changed. So I really think the next 2 years there's eclipses there. Whenever there's an eclipse in the first 7th house, you definitely meet a mate or soulmate or somebody new comes into your life, whether you marry them or not, you know, it's somebody significant.
Okay, now I know that that's something with me. What's that? A day is a week, is a month, is a year. Time, because divine time is not always our time.
Right.
So when we're talking about, okay, I see it in October, it doesn't mean it's in October of this year. It could be in October of next year or the next year or the next year.
Well, eclipses last 6 months to a year. You know, they last a while.
Right, but it's like in your what you see. What do you see for her? Is that within the next 6 months or within the next year?
Well, first of all, just Mars alone in your chart is 9 degrees Leo. That's going to be right, whatever your time is. And there's an eclipse exactly on that Mars, and Mars is male energy, you know, and it doesn't mean like for myself, I can talk about, I mean, I met my husband exactly on eclipse on my ascendant, and then 18 years later, I met my teacher he changed my whole world. So it's somebody extremely significant, you know, it might not be somebody you want to marry and live with the rest of your life. I think you got enough people to live with right now.
I know.
But I'm just saying, you will have significant people come into your life now. 7th house type people, which is relationship, close, intimate relationship people.
Okay, Bill, do you
Yeah,
have something?
I did a 5.
Okay, hold
You
on.
want to talk to my daughter now?
Wait a minute, Sylvia. One more. Bill has something to say to you.
He's gonna answer
You're
your question.
You're getting cross references, okay? So it's like, here's a second opinion. The minute you asked, I
third opinion.
Third opinion. Okay, third opinion. Oh, such a deal. No, I pulled 5 cards for you on relationship because you asked, and I automatically did that. And how this is like, I don't always need the tarot, but it's really easy
It's
on the
easier.
air live with 2 beautiful strange women I don't know, and
He's coming back again.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And that's butter I'm using, not oleo. Okay. So I asked for you, Sylvia, and I put 5 cards down. 5 cards is a yes or no answer. The first thing is your first relationship with your husband, like he was a knight in shining armor, came and pursued you financially well. Since then, now, and since his passing, you've gotten along with women of your age. You've been fine single in the sense that you have a lot of female support. In the present moment you've learned to no longer overreact as to whether you have a partner or you don't. We get in this work a lot of, will I find the one? Well, there is no one. You're the one. And who you attract to you reflects where you are in your maturity, in your emotional maturity. In the near future, look what we have. We have the Lover's card in reverse, and that means, yes, you will meet someone, and yes, there will be a time together.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Yes, I will meet someone.
You didn't care about the past, did you?
I couldn't hear the phone like clicked off
Okay.
or something.
We'll forgive you.
Then pay attention to this. This is because this is a prophecy. You will meet someone, and you will see eye to eye, but it will show you where you are in your growth. But destiny-wise, and I stand behind the destiny cards, it's not a match made forever. So you will have this time, 2 months, 3 months, doesn't matter, beyond, well, you'll know that it's not exactly where it has to be. Even if you try to stay together, destiny-wise, it will end. The final outcome is, and pay attention to this, that those that do not show up or come into your life and it looks like it's going to happen and it falls away are for you to stand firm and know, with him or without him, I still am whole and integrated, because the problem that will happen with this particular situation is, as professional as he may be, there is a drinking problem, there is an emotional problem, and it's the thing that you're not going to want to get involved with. Why does he?
Not again.
Well, there you go. Now wait a minute.
No, that's the
is
pattern.
so
Right, and why is she
important.
attracting her?
The fact that you said not again is, this is your ace in the hole. You get to go through another trial run to recognize the situation beforehand, and then the partner can come. Do you follow?
Right, yeah.
Learn your lessons well, because
Every-
if you don't learn them, you're going to repeat them.
Every man and woman attracts to them the same energy, but a different package. So it could be someone who was tall, 6'5" and blonde, and the next one was black and 5'4". It doesn't
Different
matter.
name,
The
different
energy
face,
there is
right.
there as
Oh,
you
yeah.
progress,
Yeah.
and you have to understand with all you've been through recently.
He's
even
you're
with
talking
the
to the
loss
phone, too.
of- yeah,
We didn't forget about you.
you'll understand that.
Yeah, really, we might as well
But you
just
know
talk to the audience.
why we're
huh?
doing that is because the energy, the channel, the information is coming. The connection is here.
Of course.
When we're doing readings, when you're doing your charts, you're listening to the 5 psychic senses someplace else. And I mean, I look at myself in the mirror enough, so it's Sylvia I was concentrating on, and that is beautiful. That's
Right.
beautiful because, yeah, you're going to meet somebody, not a fit. Why? Same pattern, and she
Right.
validated it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool, Sylvia?
And that's the best part, because
Thank you very much.
you know why? The sooner you validate it, the sooner you realize how much you've grown. Because the people that don't validate it and just go right into it aren't maturing, because you're going to realize this isn't what you need.
Not doing the work.
You're not doing the work,
right,
not
right.
maturing. You're maturing, but thank
Right.
you.
I understand. Yes.
Cool call?
Pardon me?
No, me and my usual cool. Was good?
Did you want to talk to Cynthia? Do you have time for Cynthia?
But in the
Sure.
meantime, you're going to have some great SEX during this 3-month period.
Oh, I am.
Cool.
Bill?
What?
No, that was from Kim, not Bill. Cosmic Kim.
Oh,
You're
Kim?
gonna yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, all those kids living in your house. I don't know. You're gonna, it's like having a puppy, a new puppy. You're gonna have all this noise. Like, okay, I can't be loud, Bill, or whoever. Oh, sorry, Bill, not you. Is that his name?
That's interesting.
Okay.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, I'm in the gardens.
Can I ask one more question before I get Cynthia? I just remembered this
Yeah,
here.
we only have
I know what Bill said. I mean, I took all this in. The settlement that I'm getting, is it going to be very soon, like December?
When do you
Who-
see her
who are
money?
you asking? You're asking me?
Either one. Either
Yeah.
one. Who sees money coming in?
Well, let's cross-reference.
I
Let's
already
check each
saw
other
money
to see.
coming.
Frustration during that month. She asked about December.
Okay.
Rock in a hard place. It seems like it's going to happen. That's litigation, back and forth, back and forth.
Right.
There's just some
Right.
frustration. So it doesn't seem like it's that month. And then the news of money, maybe it's not as much initially as she thought, or there's just some,
Right.
God, you deal any legal actions and then the cost of things, closing costs, legal costs, in anything, there's like, that gets a piece of the pie out. It's not clear for me.
I know. I'm looking.
I don't see or feel a clear-cut answer about that today.
Right.
Today, I don't see
Right.
that, but that can change
Well,
tomorrow.
it's something that,
Here's
I
the
had
devil
told her.
card. Don't be attached. Do not be worried and push and
Right.
force issues, because if you do, you're going to energetically make trouble.
Right, but I had told her that money will come, but the first one that I saw, I didn't see as being good
Right, so
enough.
there's the validation right there.
Right,
Okay.
that's what I had told her before, but
Yes.
as in when it was coming, because it was supposed to be, real soon, that there was going to be some, like right around now, some talk about when is it going to be.
Right. So did you hear that, Sylvia? We Doctors 3 have all corresponded, and the consenting ruling is that it's coming, but don't force and is it coming, do I want it, because it's not initial. Relax about it, chill. Do not be attached to it, because you can force with your energy things to push off and take longer.
Cool?
Right, I understand. That's good. Actually, that's how I felt today, because I went for a job for part-time for ADP, payroll,
Uh-huh.
and I was interviewed 3 times today. I have one more interview, and it seems like when I walked out of there, I felt the sense I'm going to get this job, data entry, customer service, and I thought about the settlement, and I thought, when it comes, it comes. I'm not going to keep pondering, my mind pondering on it all the time.
Right.
Because I'm in need of money,
Yeah.
But I just feel like good things are going to happen now.
Well, even, you know what, you probably don't want the money to land in your lap, because you probably don't want to sit around and not do anything either. So you're being forced to work and get a job now, so that you are working when you get your money, and don't just, I think it's good. I always think things come at the right time when they're supposed to come.
Feels that way.
Doesn't it?
For her,
Yeah.
it does, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, just buckle your seatbelt, Sylvia. Hang on. You got a good ride.
Oh, good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to put my daughter Cynthia on the phone, okay?
Okay.
It was nice talking to all of you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
And the next is Sin, her daughter.
Hi, congratulations, your new baby.
Thank you so much.
Well, it's hard, isn't it? It's good and it's hard.
It's good and it's hard. It's getting easier. She's 3 months now, and it's getting easier.
Aw.
Okay, you want to explain to her about
What do you want to know? Her chart, your chart?
Sin, what do you want to know?
Hi, Lisa.
Hey.
You know, I've learned so much about her, but I'm having problems with her father,
Yeah.
and you know, with him being in her life and stuff. I guess I would like to know. I mean, like, I don't know how to put this. Is he going to be in her life, or am I going to find someone else to be, you know, like her so-called father?
Well, first of all, the one thing, you're born with your sun sign conjunct the planet Neptune, which a lot of times would mean that you'd pick somebody unavailable or an alcoholic or, you know, so that's the pattern you have to look at for yourself. You know, because the sun is a male with the planet Mars and Neptune dissolves it. It doesn't always mean that, but that's the low side of it. So you're very psychic or intuitive also, I would imagine, are you? You pick up stuff from
Very sensitive, very drained.
Very
from it.
sensitive. Yeah, we have Bill here too, he's pulling cards for you. And
Oh, okay. Yeah, I am very sensitive.
Well, the Nine of Cups tells me in reverse that, young lady, I'm going to be your dad right now and tell you that you're emotionally drained and poured out right now. You need to do whatever you can to, even if you have bartered or get a gift, massage, spa. I've got a homework assignment. It's called renting a movie, unless you already have it. Have you ever seen the movie Under the Tuscan Sun?
No, I haven't.
All right, go rent that movie, okay?
Okay.
The main character, Diane Lane, it'll be very inspiring about things. She goes through divorce. She's totally wiped out. She ends up buying a villa in Tuscany. I'm not going to tell you any sooner, but that could be your life, especially the ending. I want you to watch that movie for yourself. And really, this is about your time. The birth was traumatic. My God, I'm feeling tired just after what your mother shared about it.
Oh, yeah.
And you've not been treated fairly. The Justice card in reverse says you have had it rough. It's time to acknowledge that, grieve it out, cry. It's not been easy for you, both in giving birth, in letting go of the old, in wanting to be self-sufficient. And even at this time, you're probably thinking, this time of the year is really hard for people. The ending of the year and the holidays, you know, is not really peace on earth, goodwill. It reflects, God, look at this year. It is going to be more of the same. Can I actually make a change next year? Even in your voice, my dear daughter, I'd hug you if you were here right now, because I can see that you really need that kind of nurturing and love. And plus, she's not going to bed. You're up all night worrying about stuff, sleepless nights. How am I going to solve all these things? How can I make my life better, and will it? Okay, so watch the movie Under the Tuscan Sun and see how she metaphysically created things, because she was brave enough to go do different things she had never done before. And she walked into her fear and created an incredible life. She got everything she asked for, but it looks very different from what in her head she thought she needed. But it's a beautiful movie.
You know, your daughter was born on a full moon also, and a full moon usually it's the sun is the dad on one side and the moon's the mom on the opposite. So a lot of times full moon children, the parents are not together. I mean, it's not 100%, but there is a, and she even came in with the sun conjunct the south node as a release of her father in her life. So she chose whatever path it is. I wouldn't be so hung up on who's playing the male figure for her, because she came in to say, I am not going to be anything like my dad. With this, you know, it's like something from the past. She knew him from a past. This is not about him this time.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that interesting? No, it really is. A full moon alone, being born on a full moon, is a separation between the parents.
I didn't know that.
That's interesting, because I think that all 4 of my children were.
And it's not always, I mean, you're
around
going to find somebody who's going to call and say, you know, I was born on a full moon and my parents stayed together forever. Well, did they see eye to eye? I mean, was one on one end of the chart, you know, and the one on the other? Like, they completely have different views about things. I mean, it's really fascinating for her that's, for me to tell you, honestly, what would keep her happy is to really, she's very sensitive like you. You both have the moon in Pisces, which is extremely sensitive, picks up everything from everyone around them. You really, both of you, have to learn to just not absorb everything that's going around you. I mean, really figure out what's yours and what's not, because she has it also.
That is true, because if I'm upset, she picks up on it.
Well, you both have that. I mean, even the person next to you, sometimes moon and Pisces people that are that sensitive, and you have your sun, you know, kind of the same thing. it's not in Pisces, but with the planet Neptune, it's really absorbing everything around you. So somebody could be really upset. You start getting upset, and it's not even your stuff. So you would probably know more about how to get rid of it. I hear lots of showers, you know, a breathing thing, but try to really learn, because you can't tell your daughter that yet, really how to learn how to separate what's yours and what's somebody else's. You know, you're picking up everybody's stuff around you on top of it.
Will I always be a sensitive person like that?
Of course.
You'll just
You're
learn
born
how
that way,
to,
but you're going to learn,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you'll learn how to
Trying learn
stop
not
it.
To be like that.
Right.
One of the things that could help you. Have you ever done homeopathic remedies or homeopathic medicine?
They're just
No.
getting into.
All right, find a real good practitioner who's licensed homeopathy energy, work on the emotion and the constitutional level. And I'm getting that you're supposed to do that, or would really vibrate. Your sensitivity can come into powerful, creative, right-brained goddess energy, creative energy, and you become strong in that sensitivity. I'm extremely sensitive physically, and I've had many health challenges. I'm now learning through these years of what I'm doing how to make that a plus by capsulating myself away from lower mortals, lesser mortals, who walk around. Let's put it this way. You don't want to help people, like say if your child is in a mud puddle, you don't jump in with a bar of soap and try to clean it up. You distance yourself from people who are not in the same vibration need for wanting to better their lives. The Chariot shows me that if you physically move out of where you live, it's going to be a good thing. If you want to travel and take a trip, it's a good time to travel. But more importantly, from death to life, you want to find yourself. That movie is going to be very symbolic for you. There's other movies, but that's the one I know that will help you. And above all, recognize that I know your dad wants to come in, and I don't want to do mediumship on the air, not tonight. But your dad definitely could talk with you and comfort you with some information as well, as far as how to grow. Because there's some things that you need to have him here to validate that he recognizes, owns up where he wasn't there, but also to give you information, let you know that he is still there, and even better, new and improved. You've got a father in a high place.
He is passed.
I know, I'm saying that.
He's a medium. He's speaking to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the first thing I talked to your mother, I got that her husband had passed. I knew that. And he's coming through in my right ear. And he's more than willing to talk to you and explain to you some things to help you feel better.
Yeah, he comes to everyone else, but he never comes to me.
I don't know that's true.
Yeah,
No, I
that's how
think,
we
you know what-
block
That's
out.
what everyone says, that he does come to you, you just don't know
Especially, probably in your sleep more with your moon in Pisces. Really pay attention to your dreams, because you're a Capricorn rising, which is an Earth sign rising, which means you really need logic and practical things to believe things. It's hard for you to just believe in all of this. I don't know how to put it, but a Capricorn rising is very kind of traditional. That's your rising sign. That's what you're born. That's what you're wearing. Earth, grounded, always feel like the world's on your shoulders, responsibilities, heaviness. Did you grow up feeling like that?
Yes.
That's a Capricorn rising. Get better with age. I mean, just so you know, Capricorns get better with age. So you're like the mountain goat. I know you're saying, I'm not a Capricorn. What are you talking about? I'm a Sag. But your rising sign, your personality, what you show the world is a Capricorn. And they usually tend to get way better starting in their 40s on. And, by 56, you've already got the world by the balls. I'm just saying that's probably why you're not acknowledging that you really are getting these visions from your dad, because everything about your chart, except for that one Capricorn, is really very psychic. I mean, can pick up anything you really want to.
I do pick up a lot on people.
But
It's like I was telling Lisa before, it scares me, so I don't really get into it.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's we hear a lot of that. Hey, Sin, it's getting pretty close to time around here, so we're gonna say goodbye to you,
Okay.
and you will definitely.
Great talking to you guys.
Yeah, that was
thank
fun.
you. Yeah, this is the first time that we did something like this, so it was really cool, and we're gonna say goodbye to you, and we'll talk to you later, I'm sure.
And good luck. I
You guys
mean,
are doing a wonderful job. I'm so glad you guys are out there helping people.
Well,
aw.
thanks. That's not all about us, though.
And keep in mind, too, there that you also can be a source of inspiration for people. You can be, I mean,
Right.
ask yourself in your day and your week, are you the source of someone's frustration? Are you the thorn in someone's side? Or are you going to be, like Gandhi says, be the change you want in your life and be the lover you want, be the happy person, be the person that you want. You've got a great discovery year for yourself this year to unfold. It starts off with renting a movie.
Okay.
I happen to have it at my house. Should I ship it over?
Hey, you be good,
Bye.
Sin.
Good
All right, take care.
luck.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, guys. Yes, it could be you too. We kind of don't have enough of time tonight to have you call in, I don't think.
I don't.
You think that there's enough of time for them to call in? I don't.
No.
I don't think so.
Uh-uh.
No, I
I'm
think
getting a message.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So, because it's like, I was going to give...
I feel like I'm under the Tuscan sun right now.
I know, I was going to give you my number, but I don't think that I should give you my number this week.
No, but for next week, if anybody wants to call in next week, we'll play the same game.
Okay,
We'll do the same thing.
450-6317. Did you catch that? If you didn't catch that, then email us, okay? GloLady, GLOLADY TV at Yahoo. That's my email. Cosmic Kim 7. Don't forget that 7, or
Number
you're not going to
7
get
at
it.
AOL.com. Or I have a website, CosmicKim.com.
My website is BillBowersGuidance.com, and I'm also Light Source Studio, 31 Carolina Lane, downtown Asheville.
And he's going to have a special thing going on Sunday.
Yes, Kaleo Wheeler, her CD of her new album. She's from Hawaii, and she's having her birthday party. It's from, I think, 3 to 5, but how would you find out? Carolina Lane, Sunday. That's the lane behind Namaste Yoga off of Walnut by Scully's Restaurant. There's an alley. You go down. I'm in the middle of the block, yellow banners, lots of people singing, and it's going to be a nice time.
3 to 5 on Sunday?
I don't remember off the top, but it's
Okay, go there on Sunday, and
Yeah.
if it's not
If
time
you
yet,
show up,
well,
you can bring breakfast if you get there too early.
Call me, 828-216-9039.
Did you get all that information?
828-216-9039.
Cool. Well,
I'm
we
so
hope
glad
that,
we met.
Yeah,
That was
we
great.
hope that you guys come back again next week. And if you come back again next week, then 450-6317 if you have a question that you'd like us to answer.
You didn't even get to pull your cards. You were showing
Oh
them.
yeah, yeah.
You know, I even found sometimes before, I know we're not off yet, but
Uh-huh.
you can even ask a question, and I know that you would flip on the TV or open a book, but flip on the TV and the first line that comes out will answer your question.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
All the time.
and how do you find a spiritual advisor?
Oh, right.
You ask and you shall receive, okay? So ask and you shall receive.
it's good to go to someone, that's been recommended to, I guess, right?
Thank you. Be good. We'll see you next week.
There's our disappearing act.
I've got words in my head. What's going on here? Oy
Well,
vey.
he flew in and he flew out. Bye-bye. Where'd he go? Woo!
You guys have fun on this
We
show.
do.
Yeah.
We like to
We
have fun.
do.
We don't want to be boring. Where's Donna the Tool Girl? Hello, Donna.
I think that was the message that I missed on my phone.
Maybe she was behind this ring.
Hey, are we still on the air?
Yeah,
Oh, that went fast.
I know, really.
Oh, you stuck yourself in.
Hey, can you hear us out there? Is our mics off?
I don't know.
Hey! Don't you guys love it? We're gonna learn how to time this thing so that it's like cut off at the end.
Well, actually, we wanted to show off
Oh,
ourselves.
hallelujah!
Oh, health
Tip
tip.
for healthy living.
We do a healthy, yes.
Yeah. Tip for healthy living. Okay, make sure that you drink water. We had talked
We
about
did that.
water
We did
before.
water. Do you have a
And
good tip for us?
crap every day. That's that's an important one. If you aren't crapping every day, there's something wrong. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. You're holding in too much stuff.
Whoa.
You need to drink more water and you need to eat more fiber because you're holding your toxins in. And who was that Einstein had said about eating vegetables? The whole foods, because you are what you eat. Okay, so if you are constantly eating the wrong foods, then you're holding it in. Do you know that when I went fishing when I was a kid, I used to take white bread and water, and it would make it really hard? Well, those of you that are eating that white bread and drinking water, can you imagine why that dough ball in there? Is that making sense to you?
And speaking of water, a great tip in the morning, most of our livers are like dirty filters. Hot lemon water, no honey, hot lemon tea in the morning cleans and flushes out the liver. Really good way to detoxify. Are we now?
What was it now?
Hot lemon and tea. Hot water, lemon, no sugar, nothing else. Drink that first thing in the morning, and it actually flushes the liver. Because most of us are walking around with our livers are like dirty
real bad.
filters.
Real
Really
bad.
bad, really bad.
Real bad.
So hot.
Okay, we're off.
Wow, that was so funny. That happened to us one day, 2 weeks ago. We had to come